So to follow along on this mod, aside from the GameCube console, you'll also want to get this from AliExpress. It's about $7 shipped. It is a bundle which comes with a Xeno Modchip, Xeno, as well as a mini DVD with Swiss version 0.5 on it. And also it comes with the SD2SP2 chip that has the receptacle for the SD2 cards. The SD cards. You also need to pick up a security screwdriver bit. It's available for about $5 off of AliExpress as well. And this allows you to open up the console. It's just needed for 4 screws on the base of the GameCube console. Today we're working on putting a mod chip, this tiny Xeno mod chip. It's pretty small, but the size of my thumbprint, into the GameCube. I've chosen this particular GameCube because it's one of the versions that has this serial port, extension serial port. And this micro SD card adapter is going to assist me to load some homebrew and some backed up games probably onto here. So that's why I chose this particular model. Getting off the lid is going to require one of those security bits from Nintendo, security bits that Nintendo uses. I think it's this one. One of these bits available on AliExpress for like $6-7.
Could use a magnet, make this a little easier, but I don't happen to have a magnet right now. So with these 4 screws up, they'll have to just lift off. Let's see.
There we go. So there's the top lid portion. And here's this. Right there. That's what the screws look like. There's 4 of them. Just like that. Put these to the side. Now we have to get under this disk drive because I think the board that the mod chip goes on is on the underside of this. We're going to be using just regular Phillips to remove many screws.
Put them in this case here so I don't lose them. I'm just going to leave it exposed, a bit dangerous there. A magnetized screwdriver would work really well here.
This back plate just comes right off. That's where all the ports were. So this the front portion of the GameCube has where the controller ports go, has the CR, looks like a 2032 to save for the clock and stuff. So if you want to replace that, you can replace that too. This front plate just pops right off with these kind of resistance things around, hands around this pole. This should just lift off. Well, 14 screws that are this size, so like that big. Here's a driver bit comparison for that screw size. There's still 4 smaller screws. They're holding on to the memory card ports. And those are, I think that's all that's holding down the disk drive, the laser reader assembly right now.
Smaller.
And now that whole drive assembly is off. Look at that. These are the screws that came out of the memory chip assembly area. Keep those together. Now under this, whatever this is, heat shield or whatever, there's these really small screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Remember not to touch that laser. So there's all the tiny screws. I'm gonna put a disc in just to protect it. There. Now the laser's protected. Now I need to identify where this goes. So the Xeno chip lines up with this section right here where it says CN302. Put it down just like that. You can see how there's kind of like, there's a little hole for whatever that is. That's probably some small capacitor. And then I have to solder that point, this point, this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 points to solder, and we should be good. If I were to do this over again, I would definitely clean the chips and the motherboard with alcohol, 99% alcohol, isopropyl alcohol first. I would also ensure that I tape down the mod chip and hold it in place so that it doesn't move around. The forceps usage was fine, but it could have been easier. I also would have fed the soldering wire directly into the hole as the thing was heating. This was my first soldering job, so it was messy. Hopefully that's 2 points. Hopefully that worked for that one. This one's probably the trickiest one. I could easily accidentally hit 2 there. This next one should be easy. Oh no. I cross-soldered this one. I bridged it by accident. Unbridged it. Now I've just got to lower this one in there. Gosh darn it, that one's really hard. Or maybe the shittiest solder there is. I don't know. I might have done it. I'm not certain. We won't know unless we test it out. Fingers crossed. Bumping the heat up to 330. See if I can desolder this and do it a little cleaner. Yeah, that might be the best I can do. Time to put it together and see how it turned out. So I didn't do the nicest job. A lot of extra globs of solder there, but maybe I got lucky. Maybe I got lucky with how that go. And let's plug it in and try it out. This with this, obviously. Does it go? Yeah, it should go like this. These two posts help a lot. I make an error here in the order of the screws. Don't put this screw first. Put the 3 in the middle down first because you have to attach the fan assembly and then use that screw hole to lock down the fan assembly. You can skip ahead to see the proper order when I discover my error. Even when I put the fan in now, I'm putting in it too early. I should have fixed another screw on the far side of the GameCube before I put the fan, because the power intake, which is on my right thumb right now, is blocking access to a screw hole on the other side. So don't be like me. Put the screws in the right order. Yeah, he's not here. Okay, so we've got all the screws in now. Gotta put the port covers back on. And it slides in like that. Perfect. And then, like this just slides right in. Okay, so we have the whole thing assembled now and time to test it out. An NTSC GameCube that we just put the Xeno mod chip in. If it's working, then this PAL version of Resident Evil should work. If it wasn't work, if my mod chip failed, or my installation failed, if my installation failed, it would not play this. Moment of truth. Moment of truth. We have a PAL game and an NTSC machine. If it loads up, it's a sign that it's probably working. So far we got the GameCube symbol. Memory card. Ooh, this is a good sign. Oh yeah, PAL game and NTSC machine. Xeno mod chip successful. So stoked. This is disc 2. You can see it's PAL. We're going to attempt a non-licensed burned disc. Let's see. Sometimes it doesn't read it because we didn't adjust. Ah, Swiss is running. Fantastic. And then I got this GCM file from a torrent on the internet looking for GameCube ISOs. The card is formatted in FAT32. I put that file, the GCM file, onto this card. I'm going to insert it into this chip. I think this chip is what's called SD2SP. Slide this into here.
Okay, so close 53. 53 Logan's.
There we go. So it's slid in. And then we're going to move right to the bottom side of the GameCube. It says this side faces the inside of the GameCube, this side faces out. I'll slot that right into there. And then close this up. And then I actually have a Game Boy Player. Got that for about $30 off an auction. So that slots onto the GameCube. I got Final Fantasy Tactics here. Let's give this one a try. Let's plug everything in. Powering up. And there we go. Swiss version 0.5 recognizes that there's a file, Game Boy Advance Player. Let's see if it runs. File's a bad dump. Please attempt recovery. That's weird. Let's just go forward. Video mode. Patching the file. Looks like it's working. Nice. This ding means that it recognizes the cartridge. Looking good here, guys. Squaresoft. There it is. This Japanese version of Final Fantasy Tactics is working.